Howdy y'all, welcome to the NGS Report. This is the Glock 17. All right folks, welcome to our first NGS Report. Today we're going to talk about the Glock 17, but I want to take a second, sort of introduce you to the new format, explain why we're doing it, and what this is all about. I really, love firearms reviews. I watch them. The one thing that I've noticed about all of them is they're done by firearms experts. And I find that when I buy a gun that they've reviewed, I run into other issues because I'm not a firearms expert. And the one thing that I've noticed is there isn't anyone out there really doing sort of overviews of firearms from a consumer's point of view. And I thought, well, heck, I am a professional consumer like most Americans, so why not talk about these guns from that point of view? So here we go. What are we going to talk about? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate the guns in several categories, all from a consumer perspective. Now, I'm not going to talk about if you throw this gun in mud, will it keep firing? Or, I'm not doing extensive torture tests. To me, there's plenty of guys out there doing that. They're experts. They have lots of experience in this. I'm just going to approach some points from the consumer perspective. All right, so how are we going to rate these guns? Well, we're going to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 cans of nacho cheese, because that's how we do it here at the studio. On a scale of 1 to 10, we're going to rate the guns in 8 categories and then do an average to sort of provide an overall look. And the categories are going to be, how hard is it to break down that gun? I know as a consumer, being able to break down the gun is an important thing. If it's hard to break down and clean, really I have to rate that lower. It's a barrier to being able to own that gun. How available are accessories? A gun may be a great price, it may be a great value, it may shoot great, but if I can't get a holster for it, I'm probably going to rate that gun lower. How comfortable is it to carry? And by that I don't mean concealability. I mean, does it rub me funny? Does it, is it sticking me in the ribs? Is it tearing through my shirts? Does it have doodads and dangles hanging off from it that, just make it uncomfortable in the car? Anything like that. Next up will really be the only measure of accuracy that I think it can be measured from gun to gun in a reliable way, is how well can I hit a man-sized target at 45 feet. So we'll do some shooting of every gun and give a rating in that area. Next up is how finicky is the ammo. As a consumer, one of the things that I think is really important is, I want to be able to shoot that gun as much as I can and be able to find target ammo that I can, practice with. And if that is really hard to find, if the gun's real finicky about what it'll shoot, I'm going to rate that gun lower. Any annoying gotchas, and we're going to talk about more of this as we rate this gun. But really that's about, things that are getting your way and bother you about the gun. And that could be a wide range of things that I'm just sort of lumping into one category. Next up will be the warranty. I think from a consumer perspective, what kind of warranty you get on a product is a big deal. Last is about the price. When I say price, I really mean the value. If a gun is really cheap, but it's a piece of garbage, the value of that is really low. It doesn't matter if it's cheap. If it's junk, there's really no value to it. The same thing if it's got really high price, but the gun, is the Cadillac of guns. It's the sweetest thing on wheels. The value of that is really high. So I'm going to talk about the retail price, but I'm really talking about the value. So welcome to the new format. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to start out with the Glock 17, which is kind of the gold standard, if you ask me, of polymer pistols. And I think it's a great launching board for this series of videos. Okay, folks, we're at the table here, and we're going to talk about, really how hard is this gun to break down and clean. But before we do that, let's take the opportunity while we've got a close-up of the gun here to talk about the specs. I'm just going to go through the factory specs from Glock. The overall length of this gun is 7.95 inches. The height is 5.43 inches. The width, 1.18 inch. Barrel height, 1.26 inches. The length between the sights, 6.49. You get a barrel length of 4.48. The unloaded weight is 25.06 ounces. The loaded weight, and now that depends on your ammo, but the factory spec is 32.12 ounces. The trigger pull from the factory, 5.5 pounds. It's a nice trigger. The trigger travel, 0.49 inches. The capacity, of course, is 17 rounds. This gun comes, one of the selling points, it has dual recoil springs. It does have the reversible magazine catch here, which they say can be done in just seconds. You've got replaceable back straps. This is a Gen 4 gun. I've got the default, which is the small back strap, or no additional back strap on there. It does, of course, have an accessory rail, and it does come from the factory with 3 magazines. So that's the specs. Pretty well-known gun. Breakdown and cleaning, I give this gun 8 cheese cans. Now 8 seems a little harsh, but let me tell you why. The one thing that is a little more difficult about the Glock than breaking down any of your other typical polymer pistols is these tabs. Breaking down the gun on the Glock is a little difficult. You have to strike the gun out, then you have to grip it like this, pull the slide back, pull these tabs down, and then take the slide off. From there, it's pretty much what you'd expect. Take that recoil spring out, take the barrel out, and you're broken down and ready to you're field stripped and ready to clean. Of course, you can, breaking down the rest of the slide, I'm not really going to go into that because I don't think that's really a consumer level thing. From here, the gun has, it's easy to get to all the parts. This gun actually hasn't been cleaned in a bit. It's a Glock. It's a Glock target pistol. I don't clean it all the time. The rails inside the lower receiver are easy to get to. You get in there with a pipe cleaner and it cleans out real nice. Not really any trouble. As you all know, I use a sonic cleaner from time to time just to sort of get a detail clean on the guns. The Glock always weathers that process just fine. It kind of loves it. So all in all, folks, it is, the ubiquitous gun. It is easy to break down and clean, but some guns have just a little bit of an edge because you don't have to deal with the tabs on there. Let's put it back together. Put your recoil spring back in. Line it back up. Put it back on. Make sure you function check it. That's the Glock 17. 8 cheese cans. All right, well, let's talk about available accessories for the Glock 17. In that category, I give it 10 cheese cans. The Glock is kind of the gold standard for accessorizing. Barrels, slides, sights. There's almost nothing you can't do to this gun. There's even companies out there that will change the grip and work on the frame. What more can I say other than this is the gun when I rate other guns for its ability to accessorize. This is the gun I'll be comparing it to. Frankly, this is the gold standard. 10 cheese cans. All right, next up, let's talk about how comfortable is that gun to carry. Now, when I talk about comfort, I'm talking about that in general. Most guns can be accommodated. You can find a way to make it comfortable. So really, I'm talking about, really in general, how comfortable is that gun to carry? Because, there's so many variables involved here. Are you carrying inside the waistband? Are you carrying outside the waistband? What's your body size? Where do you carry it? All of those things matter. But generally speaking, what is it? What is the comfort level of carrying that gun? And for the Glock 17, we give that 9 cheese cans. Really, why 9 cheese cans? I don't know if it's because of the angle of the grip or the shape of the gun. I don't know what it is, but I always find that the Glock requires the least amount of accommodation to carry comfortably on my body. And I've done this in several holsters now. The Glock just always seems to ride without giving me any fits. Okay, our next point is, how well does this gun allow me to hit a man-sized target at 45 feet? As a consumer, one of the things I expect out of a handgun is to be able to defend myself with it. And I think hitting a man-sized target at 45 feet provides a nice even board for me to compare one pistol to the next. I think target shooting is a completely different thing. I don't think the bulk of consumers are out there buying these guns for target shooting anyway. I think in general, we're buying them to defend ourselves with. So I tried to come up with a medium that allowed me to compare one gun to another, and this is what I've chosen. I think it's good. A man-sized target of 45 feet. Let's see how it works. Okay folks, well, as you can see, the Glock 17 agrees with me. I think its ability to hit a man-sized target at 45 feet is superb. I will give this gun all day long 10 cheese cans in this category. How finicky is this gun with ammunition? Well, let me tell you right now, the Glock 17 pretty much shoot everything you put in it. I have shot a wide range of ammunition with this gun. It's a 10 cheese cans. Again, it's kind of the gold standard of reliability. If you're talking about a pistol, the thing you're going to compare it to in regard to reliability and its ability to, use ammunition, this literally was designed with the idea of picking ammunition up off the battlefield and being able to use it. So, 10 cheese cans, it's an easy call. All right, let's talk about annoying gotchas. Annoying gotchas. You say that fast enough, it kind of sounds like that freak on April Fool's Day that's constantly mailing you letters with rubber bands that go nuts in them. Anyway, annoying gotchas. What do I mean by that? Annoying gotchas. I like that a lot. So, you get some guns that have certain parts on them that wear faster than the rest of the gun. That's an annoying gotcha. I've seen some people complain about magazine releases that stick out too far or not far enough. I've got a few guns that annoying gotchas are, around how my hand grips it, some ergonomic issues, things like that. The Glock 17 has none of those. This is kind of the gold standard for being purpose-built. It is designed to do the thing that it does, which is, point it downrange and shoot bullets. It does that without really any drawbacks. So for the Glock 17 in the arena of annoying gotchas, I give it 10 cheese cans. All right, folks, let's talk warranty on this gun. This is the one place where the Glock doesn't excel. Now, warranty as a consumer is a pretty important thing to me. When I buy, things that are a few $100, I look at the warranty. I want to know how much is that manufacturer going to stand behind that product. And as advertised, the warranty on this gun is 1 year. It is only offered to the original purchaser of the firearm, and it is only valid if they register the gun with Glock within 30 days of purchase. Now, that's verbatim off the website. I'm sure Glock stands behind their products. They make a great product. I bet they don't have a lot of warranty claims. I have read a lot about Glock standing behind these products. I'm not really worried about that. But in just the category of warranty, 1 year in the world of lifetime warranties on guns, I'm going to give it a 5. I think that's average. 5 is average. Now, this gun excels in so many other areas, that's not going to hurt the overall average much. But 5 cheese cans on the warranty. Okay, next up, price. This gun can be bought all day for $539 roughly. Now it can go up from there, down from there. You might have tax, FFL fees, depending on where you buy it. But let's call it $539 because darn it, I looked on the internet before I came out here and I saw it at all kinds of places for that price. But this isn't just a rating for the price. It's really the price and the value you get for that amount of money. And in regard to that, this gun to me is an 8. I give it 8 cheese cans. And I rate that pretty high. It's a little bit expensive, but for that, you get the gold standard for reliability. It is, to me, the easiest gun I've ever held for putting your rounds back on target. low bore access, whatever it is, the grip angle, this gun's got the deal. If there were anything close I could say where the value wasn't there, it might be in the sights. But I like the sights. They're not night sights, but I like the square shape. I like what they put on here. So far, I've got several Glocks. I don't really see any problem with these plastic sights. So there you go. I give it an 8. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but you get a lot for that money. All right, so there you go. Our first NGS report, the Glock 17 Gen 4. If you've been doing the math along with us, this gun rates 8.75 cheese cans. That's a lot of nacho cheese. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this series. We're going to be doing a bunch of them. We're going to be doing them on rifles. I really wanted a way to jump in and really tell you what I think of these guns and be a little bit more pointed in my opinions. And I hope this works for you. I think this is a format I can feel good about. We'll see you next time.